Hi YouTube. It's really quite late. It's Saturday night, the week before Christmas. It's just been manic. I've just got back from a day of Christmas shopping. But because I really want to do doll stuff, but I'm a little bit sentimental about Rose and all my excitement with her, I thought I'd just do this catch up because so much happened at that doll thing. But I just wanted to go through Rose basically because, you know, a lot of people have been following what I was doing with her and all my experiments and, you know, learning about the BJD hobby, and it was her that that took me through it. And I've sort of, you know, I have a finished result. It's poor little Rose here, but I want to try other things. I want to do other things with her as well. So I thought I'd do a breakdown of Rose. If I've got enough time, I'm going to limit this as well because I think I've only got 10 minutes and I'm trying a different setting on my camera. So, but this was her little match girl get up. The dress, I made everything for her really. I don't really know where to begin. Oh, actually, she's wearing something I picked up at the fair, knickers, but she never had before, and I never made any. She didn't need them really. And she'd be too poor to have any, I suspect. But anyway, this was the outfit that I made her. The top, her sort of pinny that she wears, and I took it from a, oh, I should have brought the picture. I took a picture from a pre-Raphaelite painting of a Victorian scene, and I literally took inspiration from one of the little girls skipping along with a basket of flowers. But it's, you know, it ties up at the back, and I will take it off so you can see the dress underneath that I made as well. I did actually charcoal and burn holes and age it at the front so that it looked like she'd had a long hard life of selling matches. But I should imagine there were people there looking at it thinking, well, it's all ripped at the sleeves, there's no sewing involved, but I did just want to show that I did actually put a little bit of effort into making the dress underneath. And it's basically a simple basic dress. I mean, you could probably find a pattern online or a BJD pattern, but I measured her and cut out my own pattern and everything, and the top part is lined because I was a little bit worried about coloured material, but they were from a pair of second-hand cargo pants, cargo trousers that I found. I do a lot of my clothes shopping in a second-hand shop. So this was a pair of linen cargo trousers that didn't fit me, so I wasn't wasting them. And this was a white shirt. Oh, she lost a wig. This was a white shirt which had a slight stretch to the fabric, so I used that because I was a little bit nervous about getting it on over the dress initially. But I don't know if you can see, there's not a lot to see really, but I did put a few, they're not even box pleats, they're just regular pleats in around the skirt area, and it's Velcro. Oh, it's really hard. You probably can't see anything actually. It's Velcro at the back, little strips of double-sided Velcro, so you only have to buy one roll, you don't have to buy the sticky and the positive, whatever, negative and positive. The wig was the only thing that I had issues with. Is that on straight? I don't know, you're looking a bit scruffy. It was, when I originally did her up, I managed to get it into a nice French plait at the back. There's not really very much left of it back there, but it was quite big. I think you probably remember when I sort of wafted it about, but I think it's more of an SD size. It does skid around on her head a little bit, but it sufficed. I mean, it looks scruffy enough, and she had little wispy bits coming down around her face, and it certainly suited her expression and everything. And you know, I covered up her feet and her hands because I didn't know if there were any rules or anything about not showing things publicly, because there were for Rosa Doll. You weren't allowed to have any of your competition entries in a public forum. So I covered her hands, but I mean, a lot of it's come off now. I basically just made them grubby as if she'd been sort of holding matches the whole time, and they're slightly, you won't be able to see in this light, but they're slightly purple and blue as well, because obviously she's cold, she's freezing, she freezes in the scene. And her feet as well, they're really sad, these feet. She's got really dirty soles because she's barefoot, and her feet and slightly up her legs are slightly purple, and her toes are already frozen because they're blackened. It's basically the scene where it's the night before and she sees her grandmother because she's looking up and away. And I made her as well. It didn't really show in any of the pictures particularly well, or the video that I uploaded, but she had a little bunch of matches, which is basically one of these fake candle bases. I don't think I've got one made up. But I rewired it. I added some wire, a little bit of solder, and yeah, it kind of lost it on the day because it was in daylight, really. Yeah, excuse me, I sound like I'm out of breath or something. But anyway, that was that. So that's Rose. There's not really much. I'll take the wig off for now. There's not really much to see. I don't know if it'll show up. But the original face up is still underneath. But I took her lips off, and I actually really darkened. I gave her really deep set darkened shadows under her eyes, and a slightly, you know, the blood's slightly starting to go out of her nose. So it's red because it's been so cold, but it's also going a little bit kind of bluey black. Is that focused? I can't. Oh, whoops! Didn't want to do that. Ooh, bear with me. Sorry. That's a bit better. And I put in green eyes. They're very dark green, but it dulled them down and made them the same as her dress. Because she needed to be really dour. There's no point putting lovely bright eyes in. But of course, that's what I want to do. I want to see if I can get something else out of her, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's Rose, and that's what I had been doing. And I wanted to get it on film and show you the dress and everything. Oh, there's bits on this dress as well. I don't know if this will show up, but she had lots of burn holes and rips and stuff in her skirt, and I put a little patch on. I'm not sure there's anything else really that I can show you about her little feet. I don't want people to feel sad now when they look at her. But other than that, oh crikey, I've been teaching myself to crochet. The place is just an absolute mess. I'm going to stop the video for a minute, and I might do a sweep of my room. It's like a doll bomb's gone off, because the next thing that happened was I went to the bring and buy stall. So there you go. As you can see, my room is absolutely full of stuff. I just quickly wanted to. I might do the haul as a separate video because I've got time running out on this. But I did just want to mention. You probably remember in the footage of Rose, there was a backdrop, and I filled the crevice. There was actually a footpath and a little muddy area, but because of the snow, that you wouldn't be able to see that. But the snow was brilliant on the day, and it's this stuff. I don't know if you can see. I'm sorry, I was all in the dark then, I think. This camera's a bit light sensitive. But anyway, yeah, this is being sold in all the shops at the moment. Magic snow, and you basically add water, and it turns into this stuff. And this is a month later, and it's still active because I've had it in this plastic bag. But it's the best stuff for looking, you know, reasonably feasible as snow. And I should really have it sort of spread out on paper probably or something, because it will, the water will evaporate and it will go back to the dust and fit in this funny little test tube. And this, the stuff that you saw on the film was only that much of the little test tube. So that was that. And I forgot, I never did mention, but I managed to get on eBay Impel doll. It's huge. I managed to find a couple of doll bags, doll carriers on eBay, which was great. And the other thing, you probably saw it when I did the sweep there, was my DZ Ying head. was hidden away in the mirror on the wall, and I just thought I'd show him quickly. I'm still in the dark, sorry, I should be watching what I'm doing. Let's see if I can get it to focus on this. Yeah, there we go. Hold on a sec. I'll get some of his oh god, so much stuff. Some of these flames behind him. Basically, when I made him, I got some sheets of acetate, a cheap set of like glass painting rubber kind of stuff you can get in, well, it's our shop, Hobbycraft. I know it's in America you've probably got different areas, there are different hobby shops to get stuff in. There were 3 layers of acetate in the box, and one of them had a hole in so his head would stick through it, but in theory you couldn't see it. And then I put, again, charity shop find, I found one of those crystal uplighters that changes colour, and I put that underneath his face, and you know, throughout the day his face was going blue, green, red and looking all spooky and everything. And I've put velvet in the sockets of his eyes so there's no reflection and you can't see anything inside his head. And I actually gave my airbrush a dusting off, and I masked off his face. I have got a picture, I'll insert a picture of him with his masking tape on. And it was all golden red, and the airbrush desperately needed cleaning because it was just splattering everywhere. Look, he looks all mouldy. But this is going to be a real test for cleaning resin, so this will be one of my experiments. And also with my friendly neighbourhood chemist, even though I have the tiniest bottle of imported Winsor & Newton, which cost an absolute arm and a leg, and you'll be horrified in America to hear that this cost me about £15 all in all to import, which is what, $30, $28, $29. The actual bottle was $9.99 for English consumers, but even though it says non-toxic, it doesn't fall into the British non-toxicity laws. We can't call it non-toxic, ergo Winsor & Newton won't sell it to us. So that's a nightmare to get hold of, but my lovely chemist did get me a very scary looking bottle of isopropyl, whatever it's called, alcohol, which I may well have a go on Ying with and see what results happen there, because this is very easy to get hold of. Something extremely toxic is very easy to get hold of, and something vaguely non-toxic isn't, which is about half of the course over here. So I think I've covered everything rose related, except for the prize, of course, which I think I'll probably do as a separate review, which I could do a bit later actually, because I haven't done anything with him. The mask I've put back in its box, and I will show because that's related to the photo which you have seen now. That was the price for the photo, which sadly cost me £25 to get out of customs, which is typical, isn't it? I win a prize and then I have to pay to get it. Pretty normal again for over here, but yeah. So, but I mean that's nothing compared to its actual value, so that's nice. But yeah, separate video for the haul. I might do that tomorrow in the day. I've got loads of ideas, and I've got loads of new clothes, which was something to do with the haul. And wigs and things, as you probably saw in that little sweep. So thank you for watching. Probably a little bit longer than 10 minutes now, but never mind, it'll be less than 15. And she says, hopefully. That'll do. Thank you and good night.